Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
So now, let's say you don't want to run 100, 200, 300, 400 feet of a Cat 5 or Cat 6 Ethernet wire to your wireless repeater. Well, if you're fortunate enough to have a Linksys WRT54G, or one of the other routers that will run Tomato, or one of the routers that will run DD-WRT, then you're in luck. Now, I've just flashed this Linksys WRT54G version 2.2. I've just flashed it with the latest version of Tomato. I'm not going to go into how to do this because I've already done a how-to video on it. Search on YouTube, or I'll put a little link thing there in the video with the YouTube editor. So anyway, I've got this router flashed with Tomato, and now what I've got it connected to is just to my computer with a single Ethernet cable, and it is connected using one of the 4 switched LAN ports on the back of the router. You do not need to use this WAN port for anything when you're setting up a wireless repeater. So now what we're going to do is go into, you've got this connected to your computer. Make sure you have your other wireless router, your original wireless router, set up and running somewhere so that you'll be able to test all this out. And make sure you have all the wireless settings written down from this router, including WEP keys, passwords, WPA keys, all that good stuff. So now what I'm going to do is go back into my screen recording mode. So okay, now, so we're here in the Tomato main status screen, as you can see, and one of the first things we want to go ahead and go do is go down here to Advanced, and into Wireless. Actually, that's where I'm at already. I want to go to Basic and go down here, and under WAN or Internet type, we want to change it to Disabled. And now I want to change the router IP address again to something different, because we know that our original router is going to be 192.168.1.1, so I'm going to make this one 0.1.10. Leave that the same. Gateway, you want to change to your original router's IP address. We know that is 192.168.1.1. DNS, you want to change to your original router's IP address, 192.168.1.1. Let's see. DHCP server you can leave enabled, doesn't really matter. Wireless, you want obviously to enable this. Under wireless mode, you want to change this to Wireless Ethernet Bridge, or WDS. I prefer Wireless Ethernet Bridge. Now, you can see that changed things up a little bit. BNG mode, you leave the same. SSID, you can change this, but if you're wanting to use this as a repeater, it's really best for you to keep it the same as your original router, which mine is Stargate Command. Thankfully, I've typed it before, so my browser knows. You want to change your channel to the same wireless channel that your original router is using, which is 2 for me. The default is usually 6. I just happen to have mine set at 2. And for security, you want to remember the settings from your original router, the one that you're repeating off of, and use those exact same settings here. For me, I keep my security disabled because I want my neighbors to be able to share with me. So I keep everything the same. So now that I've done all this, I'm going to click Save. And it's informing me that the router's IP address has changed, so I might not be able to log into it again until I renew and release my wireless adapter. But Windows 7 is pretty good. It usually does okay on its own. We'll see. Maybe not. There we go. Just took it a minute. So now we're back at our thing. You can see on the status screen that everything's enabled. You can also see on the status screen that our LAN is enabled. Now, if you want to test this, you can actually see that our DNS has changed. But what I'm going to do to test this is go to a web page. Simple as that. There we go. I just had to reboot my computer. Apparently it needed to reobtain an Ethernet address. And so now, as you can see, we're all set. And I did want to point out one of the neat things about Tomato is that you can actually use that extra fifth port, the WAN port. You can actually use it for LAN. So if I tick this checkbox and click save, you'll see that it'll tell me some services are being restarted. In a minute that'll go away. And now, theoretically, I should be able to plug that cable into that WAN port. This is something I didn't even know about. I just discovered. Go Tomato. So let's switch back to a camera view. So now, as you can see here, I'm at Tomato, and I can sit here and go to any of my web pages, and this is all being fed wirelessly from this router to this router. So that means that not only is this router acting as a wireless repeater, but it's also a wireless Ethernet bridge. So you can plug anything into any one of these access ports that you want, and you're good. So if you have a computer close to your router that you want to use as a repeater, well, you can just plug it on in any other device. Now I'm going to test that option we just saw on using the WAN port as wired Ethernet as a LAN port, because I'm curious. There we go. Now if all works according to plan, I should be able to keep going. Well, I'll be damned. How about that? That's pretty cool. So now you've basically got a 5-port switch and Ethernet repeater, wireless Ethernet repeater, wireless network repeater. Now I do want to mention again the caveat to using this method, the wireless method, totally wireless repeater method. This does cut the potential network throughput in half. So instead of the max transfer speed being 54 megabits a second, which it is with wireless G, the max transfer speed on this is going to be cut in half to 27 megabits a second. Now, nobody's internet is that fast anyway, so this should be a non-issue. If you're using this to transfer files, well then I pity you if you're using wireless G in the first place. There's nothing that beats a wired network for that. But for internet access, this is just perfect. And the fact that you don't have to use any wires for this at all, just a third-party firmware, that's just great. So now that this is done, and this is all set up the way I want it, all I have to do is unplug it from my computer, and unplug the power, and take it all the way over to the other side of the house, and just plug it in somewhere. It'll be good to go. So I guess that's the end of the how-to. I guess we both learned something new along the way. Sorry it took so long, but that's me, that's my videos. See you later. If you have any questions, let me know.